And I'm delighted to welcome two very familiar faces to Downtown Radio this afternoon. Both of them, if you were to see them, you would immediately recognise. They are Susan Penhaligon and Michael Cashman, both appearing in The Crucifer of Blood at the Grand Opera House this week. Good afternoon, folks. Welcome.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for coming along to see me, because unusually, you didn't open on Monday. You opened just last night. Well, was there a good reason for that? Is it anything to do with the set or getting here or whatever?
Well, it is a lot to do with the set. I think one can safely say that in the Mobile Touring Company production of The Crucifer of Blood, it's the nearest you'll get to an Indiana Jones film on stage. It is amazing, isn't it, Susan?
Yes, we have, what do we have, about 6 or 7 sets? 6 sets. We have fog, smoke, we have a river scene, we have boats, and we have India.
Yeah, all of it.
All on the stage of the Grand Opera House.
Yep.
Very ambitious, I might say. When reading some of the bump that comes my way before a chat such as this, I got the impression it might be the set had something to do with it. And all of you, how long have you been on the road now with this production?
7 weeks, I think.
7 weeks.
Yes.
Different city or town each week, obviously.
Yes.
And have you had any minor or major disasters with the set? Go on,
We-
you can tell us, Susan.
We've had a few, but not really major. I mean, we've had the thing happen where the curtain has got caught on the scenery so that the audience sees a lot of people rushing around frantically, trying to move. We have things at the side of the stage called periactoids. Now, it's a new word to me.
Enlighten me, do.
It means that you've got a different set on each side of a revolving. I don't know what you call it.
It's like three
oblong.
facets.
Three
Isn't
facets.
Right, so it for different scenes,
It spins,
It
doesn't it?
turns on either side of the stage, and those have been quite difficult. They're very heavy.
very
it?
technical.
There was a wonderful place, Darlington, again a wonderful theatre, and we opened there on a Monday. And this shows the problems about if you open on a Monday, in that, first of all, half the set had to be kept outside in a lorry because the backstage wasn't big enough. And then when we got to the interval, 15-minute interval became a 35-minute interval because
And they
they
got the rest
had
built?
to saw bits of the set off
That's a
to get it on.
What a disaster.
And an amazing stage crew. And I think I'd like to pay credit to the stage crew at the Opera House. They are remarkable in the way they just adapt and have turned around this set as if they've been working with it for weeks.
I was
They are
going to
very good.
ask you about our crew, because sometimes when we have complicated sets in, it's funny. If it is a complicated one, the actors always mention the stage crew at the Opera House, because they're quite a good team.
They're a
I
very
know
good
they
team.
are. An excellent team. Well, that's nice to know. I must, at this point, I've been saying since I came on air at 2 o'clock, obviously you were coming along today. And Susan, I hope you don't mind that I have been harping on and harking back to something which I don't think I'll ever forget. The bouquet.
Yes.
See, just remind me, was it late or early 70s, or what? When
It
was
was mid. It was
mid-seventies.
1976, in fact.
I was trying to remember.
Yes.
That was quite an innovation for TV drama.
Yes, I think it was a first, really, because it was sort of the first serious soap, I think, in a way. I mean, I think, well, the Peyton Place and all that, but I mean, it was an English one,
Yes,
really.
right.
But it was very well written, and it was very well cast, and there were some good actors in it.
Excellent.
But I think it was, I tried to work out why it grabbed the attention it did, and I think it was just the right story at the right time.
'Cause of the
It's a little
subject
bit
matter.
like Darling Buds of May has
Yeah.
happened now, because people want to watch that lovely time and that idyll of the golden 50s. Well, for some reason, Bouquet Barbed Wire struck a chord, I think, from the mid-70s, and that's why it took off. Because I'd done a couple of series before that on television, and they just
That's
hadn't
the
been
one,
successful.
yes, but this is the one I shall always remember.
Yes.
And in fact, about 10 years ago, now I'm letting out all the secrets here. I always sit here and
What's
say,
she going to say?
I'm not one of those people who ask people for their autographs. Oh no, not me. Except when one is sitting in the bar of, well, I called it Durant's, but taxi drivers in London call it Darrant's.
Darrant's, mate.
And I was in there having a cup of tea one afternoon, and you were sitting at the bar. And I sat and I looked at you for ages, and I thought, will I, won't I? And eventually I broke all my rules and went up and said, "Excuse me, Miss Penhaligon, may I have your autograph?" And thank God, says she, you said yes. You were scared there in case I was going to say you'd been rude to me or something.
Yes. Yes, no, I know. I wouldn't
No,
have
you're
done
not.
that.
No, you're not
She's
that
not
sort
the
of
sort.
person.
No, I consider it a giving thing when someone asks for your autograph. In fact, I want to give it to them because it's a two-way thing that goes on there.
Well, there you go now. Your past will always catch up with you eventually. Michael, I must also explain, we probably remember you best, and, well, you'll probably not agree, but from EastEnders, of course, as oh, I don't know what we should call Colin. What sort of a character was Colin?
Well, he was, I think, the first non-stereotypical gay man in a British soap, and a lovely character. He had a lovely relationship with Dot.
Yes.
And I liked him a great deal. I played him for 3 years. And indeed, he still owns a flat in the square, and I'm here to say he hasn't received a penny rent from that Ian Beale. So when the cheque does come, it'll be a rather large one.
Wonderful.
But no, I had a great time, and I don't mind being remembered for that.
Good. That's refreshing to hear.
My mother always says, Susan gets sick and tired of my mother's sayings, but my mother always says,
No.
"You're a long time dead, and that
True.
means you're a long time ignored. So it's
True.
nice to be remembered for something."
Just remind me, because I watch EastEnders when I can on the omnibus, and sometimes if I miss that, I'm a bit confused as to what happens. How did you leave?
Well, he had multiple sclerosis, and he decided to go off to live in Bristol with his brother Bill, and Julia Smith arranged it like that in case I wanted to go back.
So it's open? It could be.
It is open, but I won't go back.
Ever?
No, because I don't think. I hope I was there in its golden time, and I think some of the work that was done then was pretty remarkable, and I think you have to have endings in order to have beginnings. If you go back, you send signals to our profession that really you have no other career options. And you've always got to be going onwards. I mean, isn't that surely the reason
Yes,
for life? It's
that
evolution.
is.
We have to, all of us, evolve in our own personal and private and sometimes public
it's
life.
also a big, brave professional decision. I mean, surely it would be easy to go back and to slip into the character again and to earn, I'm sure, quite a lot of money, much more than you're probably earning now, touring up and down the countryside.
Well, certainly it works two ways. That's what I call the inverse law of soap, which is the longer you stay in a soap, the shorter your career becomes outside.
Yes, I like that one.
And I do believe that actually, if you stay in our business, in a job, just for the money, just for the security, it affects your work. And I think the public see that. I'm seeing it in some of the performances. And I think the public are aware that there's something wrong. The performance isn't as fresh, isn't as exciting. And if we really wanted that sort of security, then I think we'd all be running the stock exchange and the actors would do it a lot better.
You should. If you'd wanted security, you shouldn't have come into this profession in the first place. Isn't that what they say? Last week we had Nigel Pavaro in town, Terry Duckworth in Coronation Street, and he was here doing a theatre performance, a very heavy part and a very good show indeed. And I said the same to him about, leaving Coronation Street. Why did he? And he said almost the same as you have just told me, Michael, that he feels his career has to move on and it would have been too easy to stay there. So it's interesting to hear two sides, or the same side to that story. Please stay with me. We will return in a moment and find out what is going on the stage of the Opera House each evening this week, with two matinee performances as well. My goodness, they're getting their money's worth, they are, this week. Coming up to 21 minutes now before 4, and still with me, and we've been having a good old chat there while you were listening to the music, Susan Penhaligon and Michael Cashman, who are in the Grand Opera House all of this week in the Crucifer of Blood. I keep wanting to say Crucible for some reason. Presented by the Mobile Touring Theatre Company. Now, we better talk about the play, because, basically that's what you're supposed to be telling me about today. It is described as a Sherlock Holmes mystery. It even says on the blurb and all the rest of it, the game is afoot and all that stuff. Who actually wrote it?
Well,
Because I can't find anywhere on any of the blurb.
it should be there. But Paul Giovanni wrote it. Paul was an American, and he wrote it specifically because they wanted a play to do about Sherlock Holmes. And what he created was an amalgam of about 4 stories. And sadly, Paul is no longer with us. He died about 2 years ago. He was HIV positive and died of an AIDS-related disease. But it's great that his work lives on. So there we are.
How close is it to Sherlock Holmes?
Oh, it's very close, yes. In fact, large portions of it, I think, are taken from one of the books. Which
The Sign of Four.
The Sign of Four.
Right.
It's very recognisable all the way through. But it has a lot of laughs in it, this play. There's a sort of wit about it. It's not just a straight thriller. And I suppose one could say melodrama. It's the style of it is slightly melodramatic and quite funny. The audience can laugh.
Right.
And certainly from last night's audience, the Belfast audience seemed to really understand the play, seemed to take it at its face value, its melodramatic face value, and go along with it, and urged us to go a little further.
You felt a little buzz from the audience
Yes.
there last night.
Very much, very much.
Now,
yes.
with you in this production, we also have Michael Percival and Mark Greenstreet. And is it one of those things that we can go in and watch and go out to the bar at the interval wondering, did he, did she, what's happening?
Yes, very
And
much.
arguments begin
Yes.
and bets are laid and that sort of stuff.
Absolutely. Yes, it's a whodunit.
Great. Absolutely wonderful.
And of course, Michael Percival plays Watson, and Mark plays Holmes, just so that nobody thinks either Susan or I are playing Holmes and Watson.
Maybe we could do that.
That would be
tonight.
interesting, wouldn't
Yes.
it? Yes.
Look, I'm coming along tonight, so don't be
Elementary, my dear
confused.
Watson. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So it's a good old whodunit type thriller.
Yes. Oh, by the way, Michael Cashman, sitting beside me here, plays Inspector Lestrade, who is Sherlock Holmes's sort of opposition, really.
Opposition.
In the yes, sort of, in the police force. And I play a damsel in distress.
Lovely. Set in the 19th century, I believe. Lovely lavish costumes.
Yes. It starts in 1857 in India, and then it goes to 30 years later when Irene Sinclair, played by Susan, turns to Sherlock Holmes for help. And that's when the mystery, we've seen the mystery, the start of the mystery in the first scene, and that's when we start to unravel the mystery that brings about not one death, but several.
Whoa, can hardly wait. Sounds like lots of fun. So if you have not been along to see it yet, get yourselves along, because they're making these people work extremely hard this week. This is unusual. 2 matinees. One on Thursday and one on Saturday. Is that to make up for Monday night, do you think?
I think it is, but
You don't mind?
We're used to it, and we're as actors, we're very lucky. We do a job that we like, and we get paid for it. And most people's existence is doing a job that they don't particularly like
If they have a job at all.
If they have a job at all, in order to
Exactly.
enjoy themselves afterwards. So we mustn't complain, must we?
No.
Oh, no.
Goodness sake, don't complain. As I say, it's being presented by the Mobile Touring Theatre. We've had this theatre group here before, but it's first time for both of you to work for Mobile. Am I correct?
Yes,
That's right.
It's my first time.
Does it make any difference to you as an actor working for something which is sponsored, basically?
Well, of course. Sorry, I jumped in perhaps too quickly there. But of course, in a proper civilized society, there shouldn't be any need for public funding.
It's a long time since we've been civilised, mind you, Michael.
Absolutely. And one should remember that that sponsorship has always been there, but the arts shouldn't have to rely on sponsorship. And Mobile is an exception. Mobile have been sponsoring plays for about the last 11 years, and when they do so, they are not intrusive. There is absolutely no censorship, no involvement in what should be done and what should be said, and they see it as doing good for them. And because of the excellence of the work of the Mobile Touring Theatre Company, good for the actors who get involved in it. But one must remember that in great democracies, you have thriving arts and thriving leisure industries, and sadly, that is reducing as we speak.
Exactly. You mentioned there a little moment ago when you told me who wrote the Crucifer. Oh, I'll get that right eventually. The Crucifer of Blood.
That's it. Roll that R.
Do you like that? Paul Giovanni. That he died 2 years ago from an AIDS-related disease. The both of you this afternoon, I notice, as our microphone shows, we're all sporting the red ribbons, which we first came across, certainly here, during World AIDS Week. Why do you wear them? Why, Susan, I must ask you, why are you wearing yours?
I suppose I'm wearing it for the reason that it was first produced, which was to remind us of the disease, and also because I have friends who are gay, and they have in turn lost great friends of theirs, and I've seen the suffering, and I think that it's a cause that we should all be aware of. Now, having said that, of course, one can say there are a lot of other causes. Why isn't the ribbon for cancer? But mine is but mine is a personal choice in that way, which is open to all of us. We can all
choose what we wish to support.
What we wish to, and mine was a personal reason because I actually have had friends who've been very much involved in helping me.
I think it's worth saying. I mean, I wear it to remind people that there are people living with AIDS and with HIV, and because of society's attitude to it, some people are forced to live facing appalling prejudice and discrimination, and subsequently them and their loved ones live in terrifying isolation, and that